Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Shadow and Sun. Today, we are going to be making another craft video, and that's what we're going to be doing today.
Today, we are making a throne of skulls. We're going to start with this little wood shop kit that would normally make you a birdhouse. And we're going to glue the pieces. We'll have some extra pieces left over, which I'm sure you'll be able to use for other crafts.
Like bases.
Bases, any number of things, but we don't need those today. We got this at the dollar store for about $1. I think it was 99 cents, something like that. I went back to look for more because I liked all the pieces. Unfortunately, they were sold out. These are, once again, the candy apple sticks. We'll be mounting skulls to the top of it.
You will be doing that.
We also, if you notice, have a little tea light glued
for like a magic sacrificial fire thing.
pit. And this one is actually...
Excuse me.
Oh, don't tell me it's not working. There we go. It's been on this whole time. This one actually changes color, which we hope will give it
like
a more...
the biodome?
Yes. Which will hopefully give it a more mystical look.
This is actually a better use for these because the biodomes, they don't really need a light in them. But you're going to make more big biodomes than you are because you really only make one of these. Because you're not going to need to make two. I mean, there might be a reason to make one of them.
As you see, it'll give a nice spooky glow to it when we're done.
Should I make... Also, by the way, you may notice...
What? No, not yet.
Okay.
All right. We're also going to be using one of these skull and bones necklaces. I've already cut the skulls and bones, and these little beads, we'll be using those also. Where are they? Right here also. We'll get into that in a moment. We've already cut some of these out that we'll be using. We'll also be using an assortment of skulls from the Games Workshop box of skulls. Pick whatever you like.
Also, this isn't 100% required because
you could just
workshop stuff is kind of expensive.
You could just do the whole thing with these little guys here. I picked the black ones. That way, I don't have to use as much primer on them. And
It doesn't really matter.
Because I'm going to dry brush over them with a white or a bone color.
And also because you're going to spray paint the entire thing.
Yes, I will black bomb the entire project when we're done, so that's not a big deal. We also have a few little red gems. I'm going to try and fit these in somewhere in the back rest here. We might not get to that part tonight, but just as an added bonus, you might want to grab some of these if you've got them in your collection of stuff. And we're also going to be using, for you Dungeons and Lasers fans, we're going to be using,
a lot of people watch our stuff.
which is the dragon skull. Finally found a good use for this. We're going to mount this up at the top here. And we also have the pile of scrolls and the pile of books, which we'll be placing somewhere like this to give our Lich Lord some reading material while he's sitting on his throne.
Also, by the way,
No
those
pun
books
intended. And I believe, these are the ones we don't need. We're going to be coating almost the entire surface of this with some paper clay. Any other clay will work. This is just what we use a lot. Makes it lighter, and it's easy to work with.
Also, by the way, paper clay takes a long time to dry.
Yes, it
does. Like an entire day.
We'll also be making these stairs down with paper clay here. They'll be coming down, so our Lich Lord can,
walk
up and down and not have to use a second level spell to get there. I'll be gluing a lot of the paper clay with some E6000 because as it dries, it'll try to separate and it may crack, and that's okay because you want it to look like old stone. We'll be carving some of the clay to look like stone as we go through the project. You could use white glue or super glue, but I kind of like this stuff, and I'm running out of super glue, so I'm going to be using the E6000. Hopefully it won't separate too much. Sometimes E6000 will separate after, you know, years or weeks of having been glued to something. Sometimes it'll separate, but I'm hoping that won't be the case here. Now, while I prepare some of the clay for the back, the little guy is going to show you something else.
Okay, so you may have noticed something that this fire does not look good. It looks like if you took a glue gun and just poured it down for like 30 seconds, and that's what you would get, and then you put a light in it. That's what this looks like. So, turn off lights. So, you know, it's like, yeah. So, this thing, you turn, it changes colors and stuff, right? You've already seen this. But I created a fire out of glue from a glue gun. And personally, I believe it looks a lot better than what it would have been without it. Because without it, it's not very good.
It is a little comical looking.
Yeah. We might actually, because if you look at it from above, it doesn't look as good. Because you can still see the thing on the inside. So, what we decided to do, or what I think we should do, which might take a while, and is to eventually make smaller things, because it was really difficult just to get something of this size. But what we could do is do something else, and put a bunch in a different way so that it either keeps going up or just seals the hole at the top. Yeah, that's what we did with the fire. See how that doesn't look as good? I mean, still looks good, but yeah. I'll turn this. There. Are you done with the clay?
I don't know. Put that off to the side. Kind of like making a pizza.
Yeah, I guess. I think it's close to being.
Yeah, now I'll trim it off with this because I want those poles to show through. Cool.
Well, you're going to do it a bit differently, but.
Now, it doesn't have to be perfect because you do want it to look like beat up stone. Now I'm going to see if I can pop this off gently. Put some E6000 down there.
Oh.
I can trim it up a little bit more.
I was actually not really expecting you to do that.
Yeah, the paper clay can
Fall off?
Yeah, it doesn't have a rough surface, and I didn't want to take a chance that it would fall apart, you know, a year from now or something like that.
Yeah, because that wouldn't be a good thing.
That would be very depressing.
Yeah.
Go and look for your dungeon terrain, and it needs immediate repair. Go ahead and pop that back on if you can.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm. And then we'll trim off the edges to make it look a little more.
I don't think you need to trim the edges much.
You think it looks okay like that?
Yeah, also, are you going to use this thing?
I'm gonna let you do that part.
Okay.
While I make another piece of clay.
Do I just kind of
Just roll it around gently. I'm gonna put some, make sure you get all the edges.
Okay. That look good?
Yeah, we're gonna smooth a little bit of it down afterwards, but.
Yeah, are you going to explain what this is?
It's an aluminum foil ball. A lot of people have seen this trick before. It's, you just take a ball of aluminum foil and roll it up into a ball, and
I think if you have a ball of aluminum foil, and you don't need to roll it up.
that'll give it a sort of stone texture look.
Should I flatten it?
A little bit. There's a little piece over here that's kind of sticking over under the wood.
Okay, I think that is... So, you just put these things?
No. I'm making a backrest.
Oh, yeah.
See one of the bones. Okay, we'll put that a little bit more rectangular and maybe even a little bit longer. A little longer, you think?
I don't know, it depends on a few
Yeah, I think so.
things.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, maybe might as well.
They want it as tall as possible to make it look ominous and foreboding. And
By the way, remember when we made that video about the thing? The Dungeons and Legends terrain and the throne?
oh yeah.
Should we compare it when it's done?
Yeah, we could, but I think some people might not appreciate that.
Sure.
I have several other thrones from other terrain kits, and even the one I have that is literally covered in bones and skulls just doesn't look scary enough, in my opinion. We're running a campaign right now with a lot of undead, and of course the big bad boss at the end has to be a lich, and we want him to be memorable, to say the least. I'm going to square out these edges a little. I don't really want to cut, I just want to square them. May have to add some more to the bottom, but the bottom you won't actually see because I have to make the rest of the chair also out of clay, and that might take a little time for the pieces to dry.
Yeah, we're not going to finish this in this video.
If I were to try to make the other parts of the chair right this moment, they would fall over from the weight of the clay, I think.
Well, we should at least start working on the actual chair part of the chair.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, now I'm going to get some more E6000, put it on the back, and what I want you to do is start at the bottom, putting the bones. I'll just do one as an example. Leave a little space, but also start by putting the big red gem at the top of the throne. Hold on to that while I put some...
Wait, but... Oh, do I take it out after?
No,
But
I'll just cover it with either poster putty or just some masking tape, and then paint around it. Because I don't want to... Sometimes when the clay dries, the hole won't be the same shape and size. This way it'll stay, and I won't have to worry about it deciding it doesn't want to fit, like when we did the skeletons, remember?
No, that was no. It was because we couldn't find the original one.
No, it was still, when it dried, it didn't quite fit. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, now I'm going to put this, take this off there, and put this here. Even though the bottom bone might not, let's center that, might not actually be seen, I'm going to try to make it not too tall. The throne's already pretty tall. And you got to put the crown in there.
I think it's
the
actually not
gem.
centered yet. Okay, now it's, I think, centered.
Put the gem in
The
there.
very top?
Not the very top. Bring it down a little more.
In there?
Let me see. Yeah. 'Cause I might put like a skull. I was actually going to put another skull up there and the dragon skull at the very top.
Is that good?
That looks great.
I might want to push it in a bit more.
Yeah. And then go ahead and...
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then go ahead and put the bones starting at the bottom, and when you get, to a certain point, you're going to want to stop and leave some room. Again, I'm going to try and carve some runes in here from, in various places to make it look, like it's been enchanted by the lich. That looks really good. Don't you think?
Yes.
Go ahead and push that bottom one in just a little more to help push the glue into those crevices. Actually, there might not be room if I put the dragon right up there. I might have to save me this one for later. That's gonna look cool.
Is that good?
Yeah, just keep going a little higher. Maybe one or two more bones, I think. Yeah, one
But
more.
this one still has a string in it.
Oh, it does? Well, hopefully you can hide it. I should probably tell everybody how to get rid of that, too.
Is that good?
That looks great. Do you think? This one, the second, that one right there looks like it's a little out. But there you go.
I think that's good. What are you currently working on?
The base of the chair.
So yeah, this is what it currently looks like. I was going to use that. Currently, this is what we have done so far. Also, what do people do if they don't have a...
And we're also going to actually move this a little forward and fill in this area here with clay, so that if you put it right here, it's like he pretty much has to jump over the fire to get out, and we don't really want that. So this is a little too wide.
Yeah, you might want to put the fire a bit closer than we did.
You mean farther away?
Yeah, farther.
Otherwise it's going to, like I said, he's going to have to jump over that fire every time he wants to get up and, do other evil wizard stuff.
Yeah, but this is as far as it can go.
Yeah, that's fine. It'll be raised up a little because I'm also going to make a stone circle around the fire, your typical wizard fire pit. So it'll be about here. And I really have to be careful with this, not to make it too wide. I know we went over the Dungeons and Lasers throne. We gave it a hard time because it was too small. We don't want to have the same mistake here.
Or it's like the exact same size. Imagine we make
That would be embarrassing to say the least.
Imagine it's only like twice as big.
Well, it's going to be taller. Like I said, it needs to be taller, and you were saying no, it needs to be wider. So I'll make it as wide as I can.
Well, it needs to be wider because the tallness barely really matters. It just
This will be wide enough. I'm pretty sure he'll be able to. It won't be very tall, and I'm just measuring this just so I can always add clay to it, but I want to get a good idea how
you
far,
can always add clay to it.
so I can get a
Painted you can't.
yeah. And I'll make it look like there's a cushion for his bony butt.
What?
Oh, he's got no butt. He's all bone.
Please, no.
Let's see if that's good enough. I'm gonna end up covering up that one bone, but that's okay. I think that's wide enough, and then the armrests will go up here, and will also be on the armrests. I'll be taking a couple of little tiny little Games Workshop skulls and put for that like hand rests, but I'll be painting those gold and putting them at the end. Yeah, let me get some glue in there. Think that's wide enough, Mr. Man?
Yeah, that's good enough to sit.
Okay. I'll be doing the armrests off camera because I haven't decided exactly how I want them to be shaped. And I gotta
How are we going to show people how to make them?
Well, you just sculpt them however you want. I imagine people are going to want to get a little creative here.
I mean, couldn't you just, can you make the armrests just like take a?
You want to try your hand at it real quick and see what you can come up with?
That's what I'm attempting to do.
Because we want it to look like it's stone, but that, you know, some sort of craftsman actually worked on it, not just some plague zombie. You're also going to want to do it flat on the plate so that it's nice and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
So use this to begin with. Because they're going to have to dry. Oh, that's kind of cool. See what you're doing there? Making the little curls at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to fill that gap with some clay while we're here.
I want it to be a bit smaller. Is this big? Is this good enough size?
Those are kind of... Oh, wow, that's awesome. But the bottom needs to be a little stronger to support it.
That's what I'm working on right now.
Okay. That's actually pretty clever, little man.
Yeah.
I was going to do something totally different.
We were just gonna.
Just make flat slabs and make them sort of L-shaped.
Yeah, I was almost thinking of just doing that instead, but then I realized, because I was thinking how I could make it like this, because I always pictured that a throne and stuff would have something like more like this.
Check you out. And I'll be coating everything that's wood with a thin layer of clay, trying to put some stone-like effect, make it look like it's made out of big blocks of granite or something like that. I think I need a little more in there. Let me smooth this out.
Oh, I didn't even realize you were doing that.
Yeah, I want to get that. Just so we have a good idea of how much floor space he has. I don't want him, like, you know, catching his robes on fire while he's sitting at the throne, you know, doing his evil stuff.
Although I thought that it was going to have like a pile of bones underneath it.
Underneath.
The actual throne.
Oh, no, I'm going to just put bones all over the place, on the sides and just everywhere. And all over the stairs.
Is that good?
Yeah, but it looks like it's cracking right there. You might want to smooth that out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. But yeah, I think that might. I mean, there might be better ways, but
It's not bad.
I feel like
Set that up right here now. I mean, I was going to do it completely different.
you were just gonna make two L shapes.
Just, you know, like big blocks, you know, but that looks cool. Then we could paint it gold and make it look like, you know.
And we could probably still have the skulls on it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right now I'm just using this clay as...
I just realized you can technically use this to flatten things. but I'm not going to because it's somewhere. It actually reminds me a lot of a less, like a better consistency version of a milliput when you first use it.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure, didn't you learn that you're supposed to wait like 30 minutes before you actually use it?
Yeah, well, not 30. I think it's more like 5 or 6 or something like that.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, let it cure.
A bit.
But with the green stuff, I find that it's almost the exact opposite. You want to work with it as quick as possible because it's going to start to harden, and once it gets to a certain hardness, it's not going to be your friend. It's not going to work very nice.
Is this good?
Let me see from the other side. Yeah, use the other side, the first side you showed me. And just butt it up against there. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe cut off the bottom with a tool so it's got a straight edge, and then we'll let it dry. You know what I mean? So that it's strong instead of trying to stand it up against there and then watch it collapse.
Yeah.
So just put it on the plate and make the second one.
Okay.
And then we'll show the people watching what it will look like when it's completely done.
Well, we kind of can't.
Well, you know, what to expect. And you may even want to sharpen up some of the edges with that same tool or this tool to make it more flat. See what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, I think that we should definitely...
Let it dry.
Yeah, let it dry first.
Or you will end up with having to do it over and over and over again.
Yeah. But, I mean, after this, what more do we really need to do other than add the skull and thing?
Stairs.
Oh, yeah, the stairs. Can we really do that on camera?
No, it's going to take huge chunks of clay and carving them to look like stairs. But I'm pretty sure everybody's getting a really good idea of it.
How to do that?
Yeah. And then the last thing I will do is make oh, that's going to be tough. I need to put the fire on here and make a little indentation so I know where to make the ring of fire, little stones for the pit that the fire would technically be in.
Yeah.
But I just make a little snake out of clay, and that'll be fine. 'Cause this still looks like it's kind of close to where he's sitting,
Yeah, you could just lift it up.
and put the clay under it, the
Yeah.
bricks under it. It's already looking pretty sharp. Yeah, I think I like your idea. But I don't want to touch this because I got clay all over my fingers. We could just wash it.
Oh, frick. This one didn't turn out as good as the other one.
Don't rush it, you know, if it takes a little more time than you expected.
No, I mean, this doesn't look as good, but it doesn't look bad, right?
No. Excuse me. Okay, let me just do this last thing and we'll close it out until next time, folks. See if that'll even work. If it's not too small.
So, yeah, we're pretty much, well,
One last thing, and then
yeah, we're not done, but
yeah, we've,
after this,
we've had to
there's
leave
not gonna
our
be
viewers hanging a little bit before they hit the. You know, we want you guys to change it up a little bit too. You know, we don't want you to copy everything and
I'll make it exactly 100% identical.
yeah.
So what are you gonna do about the?
Trying to make these look a little squared like they were blocks. And then we'll glue the fire on top of it.
Because even right now, it doesn't look bad.
I kind of like it.
I mean, other than the fact that it's brown, white, black, and red.
Yeah, yeah. We'll fix that with a good paint job.
And it's not even white. It's like a. It's not even gray either. It's like a brownish, whitish gray.
Eggshell color, I guess they'd call it. Mocha or something, I don't know.
I don't even think that's a perfect white, in my guess.
All right, let's turn it around and turn it on.
Are you gonna push it in?
Just a little, just so I get a good idea of what I'm working with. I'll go ahead and turn that light off again. What do you think?
Yeah, that looks a lot better. I feel like it would almost look. Well.
That fire really.
Yeah, in the camera, it might not look as good for some of the colors because it has like a huge white spot in it, but that might even make it look a bit better.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
Yeah. Kind of wish it stayed on some of the colors for a bit more. Or if there was a thing to like a button you could push to like pause it. So anyways,
All right, we've made a thorough mess of the table.
yeah. Well, not really. Oh yeah.
So we will show this off this Sunday, November 1st. That will be our show-off show, where we will display everything we've done in the past month. The spiders, the rope bridge that took forever.
Yeah, which we need to. Yeah, yeah. The rope bridge. It's finally finished.
It looks pretty good.
Yes.
And these giant skeletons, we did all 3 of those. And we'll have our throne, and we'll show those all off this Sunday after our Halloween special, which is Saturday. Want to just give you guys a shout out. Wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And from all of us here at Shadow and Sun, happy Halloween and keep crafting.
Yes, that is. Yes. Yes.
Good night, everybody.